Good afternoon, this is Coach Washington coming to you from Trophy Fitness here in Addison. Hope you had a great week. It's been a long one for me. If you've been following my current video series this month, I've been talking about tight pectorals, thoracic issues in the upper spine, and shoulder issues, and how to correct some of these muscle restrictions. So what I have in my hand here is the Theracane. It's a tool used for myofascial release. You can get it on Theracane.com. The thing only costs $40. It's a great tool for self-myofascial release. In my personal opinion, it's better than a foam roller. So I'm going to start on the ground here, and I'm going to loosen up the pectoral minor. If you have a lot of issues in the shoulders, 9 times out of 10, it's not the anterior deltoid or the medial. It is always the pectoral minor. Cool, so I'm going to start out with the cane here. My insertion point, I want to come into those fibers vertically. I'm going to go down my cane. I'm going to come down into the tissue. When you're doing this, you want to move vertically because the pectorals the fibers and the pectorals are designed horizontally. And so you want to move up and down to get that release out of your pecs. So I'll do this exercise for maybe 5 reps exercise for 3 sets. Then from there, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to do a little bit of release in the upper trap, my thoracic, my rhomboids, my lats. Kind of play with the cane. Find those really tight, soft spots. Just break up those tissues. Now, while I'm doing some release techniques here, I'm here to talk to you about one of the most popular exercises I see in the gym all the time is the bench dip. Super famous. I see it done all in gyms all the time. A few people I've helped, and they take my advice. I mean, it's up to you at the end of the day. I'm just here to help you out, really. So the problem with the bench dip is working out wise, our bodies as human beings are not designed to bring your arms back past as far, right? And when you're doing a bench dip, it puts a lot of shear force on the rotator cuff. So in my opinion, this is an exercise that you should avoid, and there's tons of different alternatives. So this is your bench dip. Watch my shoulders. Even if I open up my chest cavity, it's pretty uncomfortable. And a lot of times I see guys and girls with weight plates on their legs, and to me, in my opinion, it's not a really good idea that you do that. So as an alternate, I'm going to show you the close grip push-up. Now on these, we're going to go with a tempo count. We're going through the 3-second tempo count all the way down. 3, 2, 1. Hold. Come up. Doing tempo counts and exercises just helps the fibers and the muscles to contract properly to build my strength, aka getting you that pump, baby. So I prefer the close grip push-up as an alternative exercise versus a bench dip. If you have to do dips to develop your triceps, use the parallel bars and go with more of an anterior load going forward so that this here takes more of the load. So another issue I dealt with a lot with people with shoulder issues is the AC joint. Sometimes if I have an AC joint sprain or I have someone with shoulder issues or if they have a lot of mobility issues, my throwers, softball, baseball, football, you name it, you're using a lot of different body stuff to help you. So with the tubing here, I'm going to fire the anterior delt and my serratus anterior on this exercise. We're going to keep a nice tight core. And then for this position, I'm not going to go into a full push motion. I'm going to isolate the anterior delt, and then from here, I'm just going to push, squeeze, pause, 1, 2, and contract back. Now notice that my shoulder is not extending all the way back because I want those fibers in my infraspinatus and supraspinatus to activate. So you're going to squeeze and flex. Squeeze and flex. So you want to do maybe right around 10 reps. It's a pretty light piece of tubing. And then from there, of course, turn to rehab. I always bounce out both sides. So I'm going to start with a nice deep stretch. So I'm going to allow that band to extend as far as I can so I can work on the eccentric phase of the lift. And then from this point, I'm just going to pull. Sit there and squeeze and contract. Something I recommend that you maybe do, I don't know, 3 sets of maybe 12. The reason why I don't suggest that you do 10 reps is because your pull motion should always be more of an amount than your push motion in any exercise. And then last but not least, I'm going to isolate the serratus anterior and the rear delt. Hold on, I'm going to adjust my band a little bit. And then from this point here, this is just isolating the serratus anterior. So come up, same thing, right across the body, pause, 1, 2. Next, open up the chest cavity. Then of course, if you want a little bit more resistance, just step out. But if you're rehabbing the shoulder for the first time, I suggest that you go with really light tube. Cool? Last but not least, to fire my anterior core a little bit more, and to get a little bit of work out of my posterior deltoids, I have a pretty light mini band here. So we're going to start out in a push-up position, and then from this position, you want to move your hands about 6 inches to the left, back and forth. So you start in the push position, make sure the shoulders are over the hands, and then from here, you can push out. Once again, working on strength and the posterior deltoids. So in that exercise, if you're rehabbing, I suggest if they're level 1, do maybe right around 12 reps total, 6 per side. If they're pretty strong and advanced, maybe sets of 20, increasing time under tension to get those joints to fire a little bit more. And if those are super strong, just change the resistance tuning up. Once again, this is Coach Washington coming to you from Trophy Fitness in Addison to remind you that working out is a lifestyle, not a hobby. God bless and take care.